In the aftermath of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, Rwanda found itself grappling with a large army that way past the means of the country. There were the RPA and FAR combatants and others who were increasingly abandoning armed groups like FDLR, FOCA, RUD, Urunana, Mai Mai, and others operating in the region. The government of national unity had to come up with a feasible policy framework to handle the problem. The result was the establishment of the Rwandan Demobilization and Reintegration Commission in 1997, known by the abbreviation RDRC.
In 1993, the RPA rebels and the government of Rwanda signed the Arusha Peace Accords. The deal stipulated that RPA soldiers lay down their arms to peacefully return to their country. That would be followed by a process of merging the two armies, whereby FAR soldiers would represent 60% and RPA 40% in the national army. The rest of soldiers from both sides would be demobilized and reintegrated in civilian life. The idea was that those left out would be supported to join other development activities like agriculture. The new government was to ensure medical treatment for the war-injured as well as provide education for those who were still minors to enable them to start a new life.
Leta rero nk'umubyeyi nanone ifite inshingano yo kugarura amahoro yihutiye nanone gushyiraho iyi komisiyo imaze kwishyiraho iduha inshingano zo kwakira nabo ngabo.
Following the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, the government established RDRC, which was given the task of mobilizing the RPA, FAR soldiers and others who had been increasingly abandoning different groups in this region. The mobilization was a necessity as considerable numbers had unwillingly joined the army for survival. Some had dropped out of school, others joined RPA because they had lost their families during the genocide. Therefore, after establishing stable institutions, the government opted for the demobilization and reintegration of some of the soldiers in order to develop a professional army.
Several years down the road, transforming a combatant does not mean receiving and immediately sending them back into society. As preliminary step, the ex-combatants undergo the pre-discharge orientation program at the Mutobo Demobilization Center in Musanze district in the northern province. The 3-month program involved civil education, literacy, vocational training, and entrepreneurship among the many courses. The new knowledge allows them to choose career options leading to gainful civilian life. A career guidance scheme at the Mutobo Center supports the ex-combatants to choose what they want to do. On discharge day, each gets a certificate as recognition for the skills they possess. The outcomes for these efforts speak for themselves. Some of the ex-combatants are extensive farmers, others are entrepreneurs. Some own small-scale industries, garages, and supply businesses. Many are the brains behind many successful cooperatives. With all these initiatives developing, the communities that the ex-combatants rejoin are provided with employment opportunities. The returnees have also been a source of inspiration to many in the same communities. Jean-Marie Vianney was demobilized from the ex-FAR. He lives in Karenge sector of Rwamagana district. In just 10 years after demobilization, he currently owns large plantations of pineapples, coffee and bananas. He's planning a juice factory. Using 300,000 Rwandan francs RDRC reintegration grant, Jean-Marie Vianney, as he's commonly known, says he's worth more than 190 millions.
Ntabwo amafaranga 300,000 rero ubwo nakoreshejemo 80 mu kwikenuza nsigara na 220 ubwo 220 rero nshaka cyo kuyakoresha ntangira mpinga amashu inyanya ariko mbona bitari gufatika nibwo natangiye kujya mu kigo cy'amashuri cya Space Kakarenge mbona amafaranga rero aragenda yiyongera amaze kuba hafi n'ibihumbi nka 500 nibwo umuntu yaje kunguriza ibindi bihumbi 500 amafaranga ya miliyoni imwe umuntu angira inama yo kujya kurangura ibintu Bugande ntangiye kujya kurangura rero imiti y'amatungo yongera umusaruro noneho rero ubwo nyuma yaho amafaranga aza kuba menshi hari muri 2003 nibwo naje gutekereza ubuhinzi bw'inanasi ubwo ari umuntu wazihingaga anyigisha mubaza uburyo bazihingamo n'uburyo zunguka numva ni sawa ntangira kuzihinga gutyo maze kubona ko byunguka nibwo rero noneho naje gukomeza mpinga nyinshi bitewe nuko nabonaga bigenda neza uko ngenda rero buri munsi ngenda mbona amafaranga ari kuboneka nkagenda ngura indi mirima kuri kakarima gatoya naguze ubwo rero ko inanasi ziba nyinshi n'abakiriya bagenda baba benshi kugeza uyu munsi zigeze kuri hegitari 20 z'inanasi iyo ndebye ubu muri igihingwa cy'inanasi ni igihingwa kandi nkurikije umusaruro nari mfite mbona kugeza uyu munsi rwose umusaruro wafatika nanjye ngiye ku isoko nza numva mfite morali abo nkumva n'umusozi wose nawuhinga kubera ko nshobora kujya ku isoko rimwe mbyibuze mu cyumweru nkazana amafaranga nk'ibihumbi nka 500 mwayibonye ko metiri yanaguze kandi nahawe naziriya nanasi mu gihe rero ntari nakayiguze narakodeshaga ariko ubu kugeza uyu munsi nsabye nzipakira mu yanjye.
Wamusindi Eugene was reintegrated from the ex-FAR into the RDF. In 1999, he decided to join civilian life. Now, he lives in Musanze district in the northern province where he owns several agricultural businesses. He has more than 1,000 chickens which lay more than 900 eggs per day. As we visited, he was finalizing plans to increase the chicken to 10,000. There are 4 Frisian cows that give Eugene more than 55 liters of milk per day. Summing up his life, Eugene says he will never regret becoming a civilian. However, even with these visible changes, those adamant to abandon armed rebellion are still spreading false propaganda, claiming that whoever comes to Rwanda is either killed, imprisoned, or enslaved.
The low-level combatants and Rwandan refugees are constantly exposed to propaganda that they will be beaten or killed should they return to Rwanda. The latest propaganda tactic has been to vigorously undermine the testimonies of success stories of those who returned, like vocation training, university education, and other areas. The rebel leaders and other propagandists dismiss all this, instead claiming that whoever returns is enslaved in my maize and potatoes plantations.
This is completely baseless propaganda. Millions of Rwandans have willingly repatriated, including both of 1959 and 1994 refugees, or are peacefully coexisting in Rwanda. There are examples. Kano Karegeya returned. He is now the reserve force commander for Northern Province. Colonel Kanimba from Gabon still maintains his rank in RDF. Nzabanita, whose Nondogere Rumeir, is now commander of the reserve force in Huye district after he returned during the Umoja Wetu operation. These are just a few examples. I myself am another example. I recovered my land, house, and all my property immediately following repatriation. Note that this is the case for whoever returns. In cases where anybody encounters a hardness trying to recover their property, the judiciary and the local officials intervene.
Just like ex-combatants from armed groups, there are also members of the National Army who are hesitant to leave military service because they believe they cannot succeed in civilian life.
The military is not a hiding place for people to escape problems. Not at all. There are challenges there as well. And by the way, we are engaged in the same activities as civilians, such as poverty eradication, fighting illiteracy, battling disease, and implementing other government programs. Today, the RDF is involved in agriculture, animal husbandry, and several sectors. Soldiers are bankers, and others are in schools. The army has become a training institution for all fields. You will find soldiers in the agricultural institutions like Aizal Songa, Aizal Gako, others are studying engineering. This means that, like other citizens, soldiers have the same duty to develop their society. Besides, some soldiers have their own business, and very often, some take work leaves to enjoy with their families. Don't you think they deserve the work during their lives? If you compare military service to life as a civilian, there is a considerable difference. Civilian life is extremely easy, really easy. In military service, you are exposed to danger. It is a life where you have to constantly hide yourself. You have no supporting needs. During that time, you had to persevere. In any way, civilian life is so simple that it only requires thinking deeper.
RDRC avails equal access and gives equal treatment to all ex-combatants irrespective of the armed groups from which they came. In practice, what is the policy meant to achieve?
Our mission is to restore the true Rwandan identity, encouraging reconciliation rather than revenge, because vengeance is a result of vengeance. Whether a combatant is ex-RPA, ex-FAR, FDLR, Mai or other groups, because we also receive non-Rwandans, we offer equal treatment for all.
Even Demobilization, RDRC, does continue to stand by the discharged ex-combatants to enable them to fully integrate into civilian life. For those that do not make it through, RDRC makes a follow-up and works out interventions targeted specifically at them. Eligible ex-combatants join formal education with RDRC support for a considerable period. Others are encouraged to take up vocational training in any of the national vocational centers across the country. The Youth Training Center, CFG Gachuriro, and New Hope Kimisagara in Kigali City are among the training centers that have working agreements with RDRC. At these centers, the beneficiaries train in different technical programs from which they can develop specializations. With these skills, the ex-combatants are assured for a future in gainful employment.
Kuwa gatandatu no ku cyumweru mfite ahantu ngera ngatera ikiraka ku buryo muri iyo weekend nashobora kubura byibuze amafaranga 500 byo kwibeshaho mu gihe nkiri ku ishuri. Ubu nzi kudefiza, nzi gukora ibyo bita maquillage ku ruhu rw'umuntu, nzi gutunganya imisatsi, nzi gukora inzara, ibyo bita manicure, inzara z'intoki, na pedicure, inzara z'ibirenge, ngakora na massage. Nzi gusuka modeli zose, ibyo bita marasta. Rwose nkurikije nuko twese twiga aha ngaha dufite icyizere cy'ejo hazaza kandi n'imiryango yacu ko izabaho neza.
Pastor Ezra is testimony of how specialized practical skills have changed the lives of ex-combatants. He was in FDLR. Currently, Pastor Ezra has a renowned carpentry workshop in Musanze district. He makes all types of household furniture, building materials like doors and different types of metallic products. With this business, Pastor Ezra encounters no trouble providing for his family.
Biramaze gushaka nashatsemo ibikoresho byo kugira ngo nzinge imashini ira mashini iri kureba biri buri iyo yakoze byose ubona kuko nyine niyo yaba yibanze maze kuyibona nshaka utwuma ubwo mukizo iri mashini yo gusakura imbaho ndayisugira maze kuyisugira ubwo none rero muri ya guteka fasigaye ngo abonekamo cyo yita dinamo shiraho kizo dinamo gase abantu bakaza baraza bawushuje rero nibwo natangiye gukora akazi ntabwo abana banje baburara abana banje bari kwiga nubwo nyine bari segonderi bamwe bari segonderi mu primaire kuko muco gihe cyo kugenda nyine ngende gutyo abana banje batindiriye kwiga ubwo nukuvuga ngo nabo ko ariho bari kwiga abana bakobwa banje ari imbere ntibabasha gukomeza amashuri ahubwo nyine badinde bite nuko babuze kuba bigenza nuko aho bisangiye ubwo abari bari gukomeza.
The social relationship between the ex-combatants and other people they found in the communities is inviolable. They belong to the same cooperatives, where they share the same benefits of their work. Abahuza Cooperative does motorbike transport in Kigali City. Civilians and the ex-combatants are working side by side, brought together by the need to make money. When you listen to their stories, they're like they do not have any differences.
kugira ngo cyambere na kugira mu kireko ko nanjye mu bantu babikunze nk'uyu mu president no mudemombe twatoye icyambere icyatuwere dutora kuko ubundi urebye abasivili twarutaga abademombe bwinshi ariko icyatumye tubarwe dutora kandi aribo bari bakeya nuko twabonaga aho batwerekeza n'inama batugira ari inama nzima
ariko natwe kugira hanze haryo tubanza kwigira hanze uwo dusanze hanze kuko nk'izi moto mu gisike ntabwo tuba twarazigiyemo nibo bazitwigisha ubwo rero twari tumenyana gutyo mbese buri muntu akagenda atoza undi ibyo atarasi.
Kotukivu in Rubavu district is another of many cooperatives. United by the desire to protect the environment, they plant trees around Lake Kivu and other surrounding areas. From this income-generating activity and many others, Kotukivu earn revenues they never imagined would work for them.
Whether it is the Ex-FAR, RPA, or other armed group, they all say that they are fighting to liberate Rwandans. So when they are demobilized, we encourage them to form cooperative with civilians in order to support the very Rwandans they claimed to be fighting for. That's why various assessments have ranked RDRC among the outstanding institutions that have contributed significantly to rebuilding unity and reconciliation in Rwanda.
Unity and reconciliation has been attained. Actually, it could have been better if all Rwandans went through Ingando civic education training. The simple fact is that those who underwent Mutobo pre-orientation courses are making the difference. You never find them involved in bad societal vices. Instead, some are holding elective office. They are senior officers in government institutions and many other sectors. Some are village leaders, as others are in charge of security.
As a result of war, some of the ex-combatants are living with disabilities, some of which are permanent. RDRC has specialized care programs that cater for the disabled ex-combatants. The support is actually provided for under a 2007 law protecting all Rwandans with disabilities. Houses are built for them. The law also provides for a monthly allowance in addition to several other programs. They are aimed at making them live normally. RDRC may be supporting disabled ex-combatants, but that does not mean they only sit and wait for help to come flowing. A significant number live independently. Take the case of Kotraru cooperative that does cross-border transport for products in Rubavu district at the Rwanda-DR Congo border. The members have reason to smile.
maze kuguramo amasamba 5 maze kuguramo inka enye aka kazi maze gukuramo nka miliyoni 2 zifatika nakubwira nti ziraha ngaha mbere n'izo ziri
bivuze ngomba gutanga 2,000 byo muri kopera ngatanga 2 byo mu rugo rase yo mu rugo ngatanga amafaranga muri koperative urumva rero amafaranga yose hafi 6 nkabugira n'amafaranga ku mufuka yo biti gishoro abanyafite ku mufuka mvuga ni ejo mu gitondo nzabika njye mu kazi yo amafaranga yo gukoresha usubwo wambwira ni kinini mu rugo n'abana mfite abana 2 nabo bari umuna banje 3
anjye mu Imana ikurinze nabasha gukora umwana wanjye kumurira amashuri ubundi namara kumurira amashuri bitewe na viziyo tuzaraga turimo kujyamo aba nagura n'imodoka nashaka umushoferi akajya igira ikinyinjiza.
There are also children who were firmly associated with armed groups. They are usually known as Kadogos. RDRC has a different program for them. They go through the Muhazi Child Rehabilitation Center in Rwamagana district in the Eastern Province. The idea here is that children require help, which enables them to regain their lost childhood.
Ahangaha turi byo bitandukanye naho twari turi. Hatandukanye no mu gisirikare. Kuko ahangaha dufite umutekano.
Ndi kuryama bugacya mu gihe naryamaga. Ijoro ryagira amahate nkabyuka atenda baraje.
Nize kwa fiye. Nagisohoka njye gushinga saro yanjye. Baragutera imbere. Nkabona ko byaba byiza ko nongera ubumenyi bwanjye nkajya mu ishuri nkiga. Nshobora kubigeraho bikesheje umuganizi.
Biramutse bibaye ngo byiza cyangwa se ngombwa. Nawe kwiga n'amashuri yisumbuye ngakomeza amashuri.
Gender balance is another aspect taken into consideration in the demobilization process. Female ex-combatants are given support that responds to their specific needs.
All combatants are granted equal access to our support, but females are given more specific oriented support because they face particular challenges as women. Their status as women exposes them to a specific problem that need specific interventions.
Most of the female ex-combatants are widows, which renders them unable to provide for their family. That explains why RDRC has programs targeting us as women. Every year, we have a national female ex-combatants workshop organized by RDRC in which we discuss our problems and are supported to come up with solutions. We are encouraged to form and join cooperative. Actually, that is how I joined my brothers in this cooperative.
During the years the Commission has been operating, it is clear that it has brought hope to many.
RDRC has registered tremendous achievements. Firstly, over 70 100,000 ex-combatants have been demobilized and are reintegrated into society. Many have become literate as they could neither read nor write. Others have been through vocational training centers where they are given skills to be job creators, not seekers. Many are now model entrepreneurs. They are employing others they have found in the communities as well as fellow ex-combatants. Working in collaboration with the other government institutions, we have a law which guarantees the rights of disabled ex-combatants. This law stands out as a model achievement among programs which protect disabled ex-combatants in Africa. The disabled ex-combatants are classified in 4 categories. We have provided housing to those in Category 1. We are constructing houses for Category 2, and all categories receive free medical care.
Tumaze kugera ku kindi gikorwa cyiza kivuga ngo noneho waringa akwiye kuba umuyobozi.
As part of the mainstreaming agenda, we are encouraging ex-combatants to actively get involved in all spheres of the country, such as local administration.
That has come along from a concerted effort, including other government institutions and development partners. International partners have been major resources in making the RDRC get to its current level. The global community understands that there cannot be regional stability as armed groups continue unchecked. Peace and stability to a large extent means those with arms abandoning them for alternative lives, which RDRC has successfully offered. That is why the international community has been very supportive for RDRC in terms of financial, technical.
We've chosen the RDRC, the Commission for Demobilization and Reintegration, because we are very much in favor of enhancing the stability in the Great Lakes region. And we believe that the RDRC in Rwanda is working very much to attain this stability. If you look at ex-combatants that from Congo are now going back to Rwanda, I think that enhances stability a lot in Rwanda, but also in Congo.
In what way?
For example, if you look at the FDLR that is in Eastern Congo, I mean, if you look at all the news, what they are doing, what kind of instability they are causing, I think it would be well for both Rwanda as Congo, as these people get back their normal lives in a developed society that Rwanda now is.
Okay. Okay, the ex-combatant with disability was the support for these people are limited, like only medical support and mean the rehabilitation and so that JICA was decided. The JICA decided to support those who are with disability.
There is a certain number of Rwandans still fighting in armed groups operating in this region. Others are dispersed in exile in different countries. Others want to return because they are relying on baseless propaganda that there is no peace in Rwanda. However, their families in Rwanda are safe and healthy. They are calling them out to come.
namuterera impundu nkamubwira nuko nganisa nkamushima Imana n'Imana yakoze niwe ndetse mfura mu bantu
nta kibazo mu Rwanda gihari rwose wari umwarimu yakomeje kuba mwarimu wari umusirikare akomeza kuba umusirikare wari umushoferi akomeza kuba umushoferi umuhinzi akomeza kugira
aje urumva nawabura kwishima urumva nakwishima byibura ko byibura nababonye nabo kandi bakwishima kuko bambonye nayo ibyo nabamarira ntacyo bambura basanze
urumuna wanjye Pierce ndamusabye Imana taha kuko rwose turaho turamahoro nta kibazo dufite hari umutekano kuko
kuko tumeze neza abana banjye bariga ndetse ubu hari umaze no kujya muri kaminuza umukuru witwa Porotira ariga muri kaminuza n'abandi bose bari mu kwiga
kuko rero murumuna wanjye manifashe ikaze nawe yagera ibi abizi aje tugafatanya ntubagira ko ariyo mu mashamba bari kurindagira yitwa Kwiringira Enoki ubwo aje rwose yego n'abandi baje ni byiza byanshimisha cyane ariko akarusho umuntu wanje kaza.
We are committed to working hard to restore hope among all those who choose to come home, to save them from a life of uncertainty that has characterized Rwandan since 1959. It's like size, color, length of nose, origin have been forgotten. Nobody will ask you whether you are a Tutsi or a Hutu. You are Rwandan.
The reality on the ground speaks for itself. Have trust in what your relatives and colleagues who returned narrate to you. Rwanda is peaceful, and my appeal to everybody out there should come home and abandon those who committed crimes in Rwanda. The national justice will deal with those.
I can authoritatively remind those adamant to return that your country is the first parent before the father and mother. I appeal to everybody to choose home. For those with businesses, they can acquire official documents which will allow them to continue their business wherever they want.
RDRC has registered tremendous achievements. It has played a key role in enforcing unity and reconciliation, peace building, and Rwandan development in general. But how does this commission predict the future of Rwanda?
All indications are that Rwanda is moving toward a middle-income country where people will have moved away from poverty. To understand where we are heading, look back at what Rwanda have achieved in just a few years after the 1994 genocide against Tutsi. Despite the enormous challenges, we have established the foundation. It is clear that the pace of development is going to be much faster.
The bright future of Rwanda can even be predicted by a young person who understands the history. Rwanda has surpassed many countries in the pace of development, infrastructures, social welfare, stability, and freedom.
RDRC is still committed to ensure full reintegration for demobilized and to yet to be demobilized combatants. The aim is to reinforce its contribution in building national unity and reconciliation, stability in the region, and fostering the restoring the true Rwandan identity.